This is Scott Vanderplu, and you're listening to the Artist Edition Index Podcast, episode 79.
I went down to the St. James Infirmary, found my baby there, stretched out on a long white table, so sweet, so cold, so fast.
Welcome back to this podcast where we discuss all things AE, taking the typed word, written word, as you would, from aeindex.org and discussing it on this podcast. A few announcements this month. Our poll went off the rails, and we have a couple reviews. So let's get into it. Shipping changes is what I normally like to start with. Did we have any? I don't think so. Yeah, no shipping changes. What's still coming up? Let's have a look. 2080 Yard of Kevin O'Neill Apex Edition is scheduled for August 2nd. Michael Golden's Marvel Stories Arts Edition is scheduled for August 8th or 9th, depending on whether your story gets the book from Penguin Random House or Diamond. Frank Miller's Daredevil Arts Edition still on for August 15th, which doesn't seem possible. They'd ship one book after another, so expected some change there in the schedule. Walter Simonson's Fantastic Four Arts Edition, September 12th. Bill Sienkiewicz's Mutants and Moonites and Assassins Artisan Edition, September 19th. John Romita's Amazing Spider-Man The Daily Strips Artist Edition, October 3rd. Bill Ward of the Fantagraphics Studio Edition, October 17th. John Byrne's X-Men Artist Edition, November 7th. There's another announcement this month, but I don't, when there's been, it's sort of solicited, but it's so far away that I really don't want to start adding. It's only July 1st today that I'm recording this. I don't want to be adding stuff from 2024 on the schedule. I probably will. Also, I like that my graphics are 4 and 4. 8 seems like a good number. Maybe when one of these drops off, I'll add the next. Or if we get a surge of books announced, I guess I'll have to make a change to that. But that's where we are right now. A good schedule for what's up and coming. All right. Well, we might as well talk about that solicitation then. So we had 2 solicitations this month. We had the Diamond July 2023 solicitations. Nothing new on this because we'd already seen it from Penguin Random House, prhcomics.com. And that is the Bill Sienkiewicz's Mutants and Moonites and Assassins, and John Romita's Amazing Spider-Man Daily Strips, and Walter Simonson's Fantastic Four. If you follow me on social media, Facebook or Twitter, Scott Dunbier did a couple posts about Walter Simonson's Fantastic Four. He showed some pictures and a quick flip through. That's interesting. If you want to get a little glimpse of what's in there as well, I also posted a flip through of Kevin O'Neill's Apex Artist Edition from someone at 2000 AD. They're both, it's just to give you a little, it's flavor really. It's not even a preview, right? Just to give you a little what's what of things coming up. The new solicitation that posted on prhcomics.com on Monday, which is so interesting. I was on it Friday and Saturday and nothing new, and then boom, Monday, there it was. I'm not sure what their schedule is for this, but let me get into it. Chris Samnee's Black Widow Artist Edition. There's the blurb. The first 6 issues of the acclaimed Black Widow series by Mark Waid and Chris Samnee are given the award-winning Artist Edition treatment. Every cover, page, and layout is scanned from the original art. Collecting the first 6 issues of the acclaimed Black Widow series, penciled and inked by Chris Samnee and written by frequent collaborator Mark Waid. All pages have been scanned from visual art and are presented the same size as drawn. This volume will include a number of layouts by Samnee that show his creative process. This is scheduled for March 26th, 2024. There was no size listed, but since it's modern art, I guesstimated at 12 by 17. It is 184 pages and 150 US. As always, I don't know how, but Amazon has already got the solicitation up. So it's actually... if you're in the U.S., it's already at a discount. So Oh, and then in Canada, it's on Canada too, with full price, of course. Yeah. All right. So it looks like the Amazons have got it, and if you're Canadian, if you're in the U.S., you can get it for $136.20. I think that is. Not bad. All right. I don't know why suddenly my link is giving me a problem. Then when you're in Canada, so I have the website set up, so depending on what country you're in, it goes to that country's Amazon, which is great, but sometimes it's really annoying. So every once in a while I think about turning it off, but I think, no, let's try and appeal to people where they are. Okay. So that is pretty exciting. We don't know a lot about it. I mean, the last Somni was the Daredevil, and there was no lettering. And this time, Mark Waid's mentioned a few times here. Are they going to put digital lettering on it? Are they going to leave it as is? Are they including a script? Is the layout going to have? I don't. It's interesting. We'll see. I'm going to guess art, no lettering, based on the last Somni book, but we'll see. All right, that's solicitations for this month. I'm just checking my email to see if I had any questions for this month. I don't believe I had any questions. I did have a wonderful opportunity back and forth about artist proof editions, which I'm going to write something up about that. But Scott Dunbier let me know how many artist proofs, not artist editions, APs. If you like signed and numbered books, generally an AP and artist proof is something that gets done instead of being part of the numbered set. It's just they just write an AP, and that's generally given to the artist, people internally in the company, that kind of thing. It's normally a small amount. So I've sort of got a figure for IDW. I contacted Graffiti and got some information from them. And I'm also trying to get some more information on the European editions, because I love how the European artist editions always include, they're always numbered, even if the number's 5,000. They say it's a limited printing of 5,000. And then they tell you how many for public and how many were given to the author. So you actually already know how many. I don't know if they go unnumbered or they write AP in them, or they put, sometimes they put AP and the number. Dark Horse used to do that. I've got a couple books. Back in the day, I collected a lot of hardcover collected editions in the late 90s, early 2000s. Graffiti Designs was the main source. Dark Horse also did exceptional volumes. And then there was other older ones you could get, Comico, Eclipse, that kind of thing. And I targeted the APs because they're very limited. And there was a former Graffiti Designs employee who was selling all his APs. So it was a great period to be picking those up on eBay. Back in the day, when eBay favored the seller as opposed to the buyer, which we've swung full circle here now. But anyway, so yeah, look for that coming up soon. I did get an email. I'm covering the gamut here. I got an email from Wayne Allen Herald Productions that there's 2 remaining books they have in stock. Salome and Other Stories and The Selfish Giant and Other Stories are both on their eBay store with 75 off each volume. So that's a decent sale. I also saw that. So that means, Salome and Other Stories is $50. And P. Craig Russell's The Selfish Giant and Other Stories is $75. Wow, I would pick up both of those if you don't have them. They are amazing, especially for that price. $125 both volumes. For free shipping in the US, I think. So that's, wow. Yes, please jump on that. IDW has also announced a 4th of July sale, and that's 20% off everything on the website. 20% is pretty good. You can normally, I don't know, if you look online, you can normally get better than 20% on books like that, but normally newer volumes. So if you see an older volume on the IDW website, you want to take advantage of it. And they don't have free shipping ever. So you're going to get 20% off. So have a look at that. See what you think about that. All right. Yeah, that's what I was just looking. My mail from June is about artist proofs. So nothing else there, really. All right. Interesting stuff. Let's get to the poll for this month. As I said, it went off the rails. So the poll, we've been having Billy Hines has been kind enough to provide some thoughts he had on artist editions and where they're going and what are the buyers like, and I've been featuring those the last few months. This one was, your interest is peaked in an AE format book, but then something stops you from buying. Which of these is the main factor? And I should have said, your interest is peaked in a new AE format book, but I didn't. So the categories were missing pages, no lettering, no complete stories, price, and size. Now, price was this was completely my fault. Because if price is a factor when you're looking at an AE format book, then you probably haven't bought an AE format book before. I shouldn't have put that in. I should have put something else. But I put it in, and then I didn't say new book. So now, anybody I talked about this poll with, so the vote is 62 votes for price, and the next closest one is no lettering at 19. No complete stories is 11, size is 4, and missing pages is 3. Just price just ran ahead and got away from me. Everybody's meaning out of print books and how expensive they are. I mean, there's not much you can do about that. I gotta say, that's the market is what the market is, and that's the price. But I mean, so clearly, what people are most sensitive to when purchasing a book is price on the secondary market. So really, that doesn't help my poll at all. So next month I got to be more selective, I think. I got a great idea. And then I asked on the forum there if anybody had any ideas. And one reader, and I'll credit them in the poll, had a great idea about reprints and finding additional pages. So I'm going to cover that. It'll be great. All right, that's the poll for June. Look, July poll will be coming up on the 16th. So watch for that. Please take part in that. All right, let's I should mention the AE Index store, which is at aeindex.org/store. I got a bunch of new books in, and I've lowered prices on some of the older ones. So I'm not giving them away. Some of the older ones I'm just leaving at cover price because they're older, and then ones that are higher in value, I do base the prices I have on the store on the out-of-print sales charts I do every month. But I've made some adjustments, and then some I've just left. Mazzucchelli's Daredevil Artist Edition. I've sold several of these, and each time the price just goes higher. And I think I'm just going to leave this one as it is. I'm not going to play with it. It's probably the most in-demand book of the out-of-print AE format books. I would say, I'd like to say Usagi Yojimbo, the Artist and Other Stories, is the most in-demand book, but they almost never come up. And then is it Bill Sienkiewicz's Mutants, Moon-Knights, and Assassins? Maybe because of the price, maybe that is the most demand book. I don't know. Tough call. Anyways, those are there. And that's a good segment to lead us into the AE format out-of-print sales chart for May 2023 on the eBay. All right. I've got Alex Toth Bravo for Adventure here. I can't tell on eBay if it's a first or second print, so I've noticed sales have just dropped off on this book on eBay. I don't know what's going on there. But Alien Illustrated Story, 2 copies, 166.03 average. Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller Gallery Edition, 1 copy sold for $139.95. That book has been a strong seller recently, but that's this is the lowest number we've seen in several months. Bernie Wright's an Artifact Edition second print. 6 copies sold on average $149.06. I have the first print in the chart. I can't remember the last time I saw a first print come up on eBay that's sold. It's all about the second print, and I don't know if there was some. I don't know if there's some warehouse deals or something where I see a lot of these sellers in California where IDW had their warehouse. I'm told now IDW currently does not have a warehouse in California, but there's a lot of great deals on some of these books, and I think how did these guys get these deals? But all right, moving on. Best of EC Comics Volume 1 Artist Edition. 2 copies sold for an average of $154.64. 2 copies of Bill Sienkiewicz's Mutants and Moon Knights and Assassins Artifact Edition sold for an average of $564.99. 1 copy of Conan Red Nails for $199.98. 3 copies of Dave Cockram's X-Men, 142 average. One copy of Dave Gibbons' Watchmen for $150. Again, this is a book where I see the variant cover on eBay a lot because that's what was sold through the last IDW sale. So I don't really cover variants in my main chart there. If they set a record price, or I think that's insane, I put it on the insane price, which is the second chart on this post. All right. One copy of David Mazzucchelli's Daredevil Warning and Artist Edition sold for $400. See, there again. So like my copy's at $350. I see some go for $3. I see some now. This is $4. I'm just trying to pick a in the middle price there. All right. One copy of Don Rose's The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck for $199. One copy of Fantagraphics Studio Edition Jaime Hernandez. I added this recently for $202.50. One copy of Frank Cho's Savage Wolverine for $240. One copy of Frank Miller's Daredevil Artifact Edition for $160. One copy of Frank Miller's Sin City: The Hard Goodbye for $128.25. One copy of Gene Colan's Tomb of Dracula for $349.99. Two copies of Gil Kane's Amazing Spider-Man for $93.50 average. That's really low. One copy of Jack Davis's EC Stories for $155. Again, that's a low price. Two copies of Jack Kirby The Forever People, averaging $114.99. Two copies of Jack Kirby's Fantastic Four for $275. Two copies of Jack Kirby's Fantastic Four: The World's Greatest Artist Edition, which is the twice up volume, averaging $378. Now that book, I really, that's a great book, but it's getting high. One copy of Jack Kirby's Marvel Heroes and Monsters for $189.99. One copy of Jack Kirby's The Mighty Thor for $169.99. Two copies of Joe Kubert's Tarzan of the Apes for $104.98. One copy of John Byrne's Fantastic Four for $220. One copy of John Byrne's Marvel Classics for $80. One copy of John Byrne's X-Men for $374.99. One copy of John Romita's Amazing Spider-Man for $77. Ouch. That's bargain basement there. One copy of John Romita's Amazing Spider-Man Artist Edition Volume 2 for $167.96. One copy of Mad for $144.50. That's actually pretty low for that book. One copy of Mark Schultz's Xenozoic Tales for $199. That's also low for that book. Marvel Covers Artist Edition First Print. Two copies sold, averaging $112.85. One copy of Mike Mignola's Hellboy and Hell and Other Stories Artist Edition First Print, $500. I don't understand this at all. That's the record price. It's not a sketched in. It's just a plain old first print. Wowzers. Second print, two copies sold for an average of $151.25. Two copies of Mike Mignola's Amazing Screw-On Head and Other Curious Objects sold for $125 average. One copy of P. Craig Russell's Strange Dreams sold for $124.99. One copy of Sam Keefe's The Max for $210. That's actually down from where we've seen this book. One copy of Sergio Aragona's Gru the Wanderer for $293.88. There's another really high, and I don't know if these are anomalies. One copy of Spawn Vault Edition for $49.99. Two copies of Spawn Vault Edition 2, averaging $229.24. Three copies of Star Wars Artifact Edition for $81.28 average. Three copies of Star Wars Dark Times Gallery Edition, averaging $51.33. One copy of Steranko Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. for $180. One copy of Wally Wood's EC Stories First Print for $300. One copy of Walter Simonson's Star Wars for $128.99. Two copies of Walter Simonson's The Mighty Thor Artist Edition, that's the first print, $119.99. One copy of Will Eisner's The Spirit Artist Edition for $185. So some interesting prices there. We had some record prices that I decided to record this month. Believe it or not, that 500 is that not a record price? How is that? Nope, it's not a record price. Wow. Okay, record set that I identified this month. Best of EC Comics Volume 1 Artist Edition. One copy sold for $450 on June 20th. That is a lot. Gene Colan's Tomb of Dracula. The highest price I've seen is $349.99 for that book. Mark Schultz's Xenozoic Tales Artist Edition. On June 12th, one copy sold for $300. That's the records for this month. All right. Wow, that's quite a bit. I already talked about the store, which I'd encourage you all to take advantage of. But you can also support the site by becoming a Patreon patron. Whatever amount you'd like to is great monthly. I'd appreciate anything. Or clicking any of the links I have on the site that may earn me some money. The Amazon links, the Things from Another World links, the Forbidden Planet links. Very few of my European links actually earn me anything because they don't seem to do affiliate marketing in Europe. I'm not quite sure why that is, or maybe it's just these books that I'm getting. I can't seem to get affiliate marketing. But Collector BD, Nufiem Store, those are great resources. BD Fugue is something I do get affiliate money from, and that's a collection of stores under a banner. It's actually a great way to buy something as well. All right. 2 reviews this month. We've got a portfolio and a European format book. So that's exciting. Let's do the portfolio first. Let's go out of order. I just put this up yesterday, and I've got to apologize for the photos. I thought I had good lighting. It was looking good, but I had clearly I had natural lighting going on coming in on my right side, and I had a bulb that was maybe a bit too yellow on my left side, and that has caused my pages to look slightly yellow on the left side. So I need to retake these in sunlight. All right, I'll give you the blurb though. Second in a this is Cerebus Archive number 2. I really should have started that. Second in a continuing series of Cerebus Archive Artist Editions. Boo for using the term Artist Editions. This folio features razor-sharp, crystal-clear reproductions of the 10 earliest high society pages in the Cerebus Archive. Sean Robinson and Mara Sedlins are flat-out geniuses, says Cerebus creator Dave Sim. Just when I think they can't get a page any clearer than it already is, in comes the next generation of proof to prove me wrong. Sim's painstaking inch-by-inch commentaries, which proved so unexpectedly popular on Cerebus Archive number 1, have been expanded from 2 pages to 6 this time out, and on the same glossy cardstock as the individual plates instead of the paper stock on the Cerebus Archive number 1. This was released June 17th, 2015, through Diamond. It was 13 plates, 10 art plates, 3 commentary plates. They are 11.5 by 17.5. This was $89 US. And is currently available. I've got a link to eBay. You can try and find it on the comic shops. It is available through Diamond. I don't see anybody offering it. That's why I just put the eBay link. And you're going to get a better price from eBay. So I'm going to start with, you've got to be a real diehard Cerebus fan. First off, this was a Kickstarter that got funded. And then they Kickstarted it to get to be able to afford the printing to distribute through Diamond. $89 is a lot of money for 10 plates. The paper is very thick. Sometimes it's hard for me to guesstimate what the GSM is. That's grams per square meter on some paper. I'm guessing 250 on this. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if it goes exponential as you increase, maybe to like 200 or 250, because the David Wright book was 200, and these seem much, much thicker than that. So that's why I went with guesstimated 250. What's included? Cerebus number 26. There's pages 9, 15, 16, 18, 19, and 20. Cerebus 27, we have page 5. And Cerebus 28, we have 6, 7, 8. So it's nice that we have a series. Each page, they're very, like I said, the paper's very thick. You get a nice scan of the original art. And then you have this label at the bottom of every page, which I really don't like. It's kind of close to the art. It doesn't need to be this close. And it states Cerebus Archive number 2, and then it tells you the plate number, plate 1 to plate 10, and then it gives a date of April 2015. What is this? Is this so people don't try and sell it as original art? I don't quite understand why they've decided to put this on there, why it's so close to the original art, and why isn't it on the back then, if that's their concern? I mean, IDW did a good job of, this is not original art, printing it on the back. It's kind of crazy. I like the design or the production. Just the pages and the plates, because it's a portfolio, in a zip top bag, which is nice today, inside a cardboard sleeve, and that is actually shipped inside another bag with a nice Cerebus seal. This is a signed edition, so Dave Sims signed it on the front. And we've got this nice sticker. In the graphics, it looks, orangey. But when you get it, it's actually like a metallic copper. Nice, shiny looking thing. Nice presentation. The cardboard sleeve, you have to tear the back open like a courier package, which I don't particularly think is great. I would have liked something I could reseal or close at least. But, I mean, it just, once I open it, it sits on the shelf. And then I may pull it down to have a look at it. That statement in the solicit really bothers me just when I think they can't get a page any clearer. Because when I look at these originals, they look like they've been lightened or whitened. Or I don't believe that Sims' original pages look this white and shiny. Yeah, I would have liked to see them as they are, right? Isn't that one of the reasons we like artist editions or AE format books, is we get to see the book warts and all. The pages warts and all, right? These seem a little bit tidy. Gradients are visible somewhat. I like the Zipatone. I like the services always in Zipatone. Lots of we see the pencil lines where he's done the lettering, and it's early service, right? So, if you're a fan, I could see picking this up maybe on eBay on a discount. This is something I bought on heavy discount through Diamond, I don't want to say 2 years ago, when it sat on the shelf and it's been waiting for me to slip the review in there. I've got so many things that I'm just waiting to slip a review in. Which, speaking of which, I pre-ordered The Fantastic World of Frank Frazetta from Taschen last year through Indigo, which is a Canadian book distributor, and they got none of the first 5,000 printings, just didn't even bother. And then this week, one of the second printings showed up. So I took a look at it. I was mostly interested in the comic art, and I'm going to have a review up of it next month. So you can expect that. The little, I don't know, I feel like they did not, it looks like it's all from the collection of Frazetta's daughters, and it looks like they didn't have a lot of comic art, so we get the comic art is displayed, then they do a zoom in of a panel, and then that seems to take up more pages. Like they knew they didn't have enough comic art, so they'd show the art and then they'd show a blow up of a panel every time, just to pad out the comic art. I don't know. All right, back to our reviews of what happened. Let's talk about June. My second review of the month, which was actually the first one I published last week. Spirou chez les Soviets, La Version Crayonnie. My French is terrible, as is my accent, so apologies. But I love this. Spirou chez les Soviets was a book that was put out. This is by Edition Black and White, and it's all pencils of La Version Crayonnie. I mean, I love that they instead of C for crayon, they did K, like the Soviets would do. Anyways, I love that touch. All right, here's the blurb. In this adventure, the Count of Champignac has disappeared. He was kidnapped by KGB agents. Actually, I'm not going to... The blurb is all about... We don't need the plot here. The black and white editions offer you all of Fabrice Terran's boards in this pencil version. Note the boards are shown in their first stage without reassembly. This is Google Translate again. You have to apologize. You can also find some existing plates in several versions. They are to be discovered opposite. So this preparatory work allows you to appreciate the creative process carried out upstream by the authors. So this is 9.25 by 12 inches, or 23.5 by 31 centimeters. It's 88 pages. It's a hardcover book, and it's designed to line up with the printing of this book from the Dupuis when they published it. 500 copies, signed by the creators. I love this book. First, I know 75 euros. You think, it's a good size. That's a good size book. It's all the pencils from this story. And not only do you get the pencil, and all the pencils are lettered too, lettered on the board. So it's not lettering after. It's the whole story lettered. And then not just the story, you also see, as it mentioned in the solicit, when there's been a correction, when there's been a change, you've got the original on the opposite side. It's pretty great. And those are normally shown a bit bigger. And then you've also got we've got some inks in the book. It's just a really, really solid package. And I had it shipped to me. They actually, Edition Black and White has a cheaper shipping option that has no tracking. So previously I'd made 2 or 3 orders from Edition Black and White. And the last time I ordered 6 books, which was my largest order ever from anywhere. And I got that tracked. I didn't want that going missing. But this book, I thought, I'll try it. So the no tracking option worked great. It ended up being handled by my local post office. The last leg when it hit Canada, handled by Canada Post. And this was very well packaged because we went away for a weekend. The book arrived on Friday. They set it on my porch, and then it rained all weekend. And we arrived back Sunday night, and there's my package from France sitting there, sort of soggy. And I'm like, oh no, here's the book. And when I opened it up, it was well wrapped, well protected, well packaged, and the book was just fantastic. So no concerns there ordering something from Edition Black and White. Everything about this book was great. I love the design. Now, I got to say this. Now, this is an accompanying volume to Spirit chez les Soviets. Edition Black and White did the full inked version of this book. I have that. I just haven't got around to reviewing it, because sometimes I think to myself, I try and pull back something old or something I've had for a while, but then every once in a while something will arrive and you think, oh, this is brand new, I should review this. So this is not brand new. I still sat on it, for 6 months. But it's 500 copies. It's numbered. My copy's 425. It's stamped in the book. There's a sticker where the creators signed. I think that works out really well here. And this is just a wonderful package. Now, Edition Black and White has previously provided pencils in a very small, like an 8.5 by 11 or smaller book with their more expensive books. And I get that. And you may think to yourself, well, why didn't they do that with this? Why am I paying extra for this book? Because of the size, the formatting, it's a hardcover. It's a completely separate thing. And I could really see Edition Black and White doing this for other books, because I think it was a wonderful opportunity to see the pencils to this and to contrast with the finished inks. Do I want to pay $75 every time? Not particularly. I don't know if they could get this price down a bit, but also, it's a very targeted product. And if you order directly from them, they always throw in a little something extra. And this they added a print from ordering directly from them with this book, so that's also nice. Fantastic book. I love everything Edition Black and White does. I don't buy everything that they do, because I'm not interested in anything that's just black and white line art or modern or color updated versions of comics. But when it's an AE format book, I really give it a good look and try and decide if that's something I want to have, which almost always I do want to have it. It's just, can I afford it, and do I want to get it shipped from France? So, all right. That's this month at the AE Index. Any questions, comments, concerns? You can email me, scott@aeindex.org. I'm also always monitoring the forums, which is the Tapatalk Marvel Masterworks fan site group. They are the nicest and politest group. There's some good humor there. But if somebody gets out of line, if somebody's rude, I'm not saying, malicious or threatening. I mean, if somebody's rude, they get a talking to, and they will get banned. So it's a great group to take part in and to share discussions of AE format books, and generally stuff from the site comes up. So, all right, thanks for joining me, and we will speak again next month.
Let her go, God bless her. Wherever she may be, she can search this wide world over. She'll never find a sweet man like me.